So today we're doing a full pedal demo. I'm not going to be doing a demo and then an ambient song thing afterwards. I'm just doing a straight demo today. So the pedal we're doing today is the Old Blood Noise Endeavor's Visitor pedal. So the Visitor pedal is a modulation pedal, and it has three types of modulation built in. It's got tremolo, it's got chorus, and it's got a phaser in it. So one great thing about that is if you need some space on your pedal board, it's three modulation pedals in one. So the pedal also has some secondary effects. It has another tremolo and another chorus. And what happens is you run the secondary effects in parallel with the primary effects. So what that means is you kind of mix them in, and as you mix them in, the pedal interacts with itself. It sounds incredibly complex, or at least did to me when I first read about it and first tried to figure out the pedal. But honestly, it's actually not that bad once you get your hand around the concept, and now I feel like it's fairly simple. So let's dive in. I'd like to show you the knobs and show you what they do. Okay, so let's start talking about the controls. So in the middle, we have a primary switch, and then under that, you see it says TCP. Well, that stands for tremolo, chorus, and phaser. Those are the three main effects that this pedal does, and whatever you have that set to, that's the main one. To the left of that, we have a switch that says TC, and that's the secondary modulation. It says TC under it. Well, that's because one side is tremolo and one side is chorus. The rate knob is pretty basic. That just means the rate of the modulation. Depth is the same thing. It's the depth of the modulation. And then when we get to that regen knob, so that one controls the master feedback of the circuit. So it basically takes the modulations, whether you have one or two, and it feeds them back into the main input. So this will also create more delay trails, so it seems like it also offsets the time. And then finally, we have that mix knob, and that's pretty obvious. That's just to the left is dry, to the right is wet signal. So it allows you to blend in what you're doing. Okay, let's talk about the secondary knob. So it does a bunch of things related to the secondary modulation. And it affects the volume. It affects the rate of that secondary modulation. So it increases it. It increases the depth of the secondary modulation. That depth does eventually plateau according to the manual, so it won't get completely out of control. That secondary knob also deals with the time of the secondary modulations. It deals with the offset of it. So if you crank it, you're going to hear more of a separation between the two modulations. In the middle, it sounds like more of a doubling effect. At the higher settings, it's just more obvious. Okay, let's hear what this sounds like. So I'm going to run a loop for you. Get a little guitar going. And let's hear how it sounds with only the tremolo. It can get pretty extreme. It's actually a really clean tremolo. I don't feel like it's coloring the modulations very much, and that fits in with the pedal. I feel like the pedal's a very clean pedal, actually. It's not making everything dark or analog-y, or it's just clean and a clean palette to do things with later in your pedal chain. All right, let's dump some trem into the trem, huh? Starting to hear that slap back now that I cranked the regen knob. So it gets kind of ghostly here almost. Let's dump chorus into the trem. interesting. You hear the trem really pounding away under the chorus. This is a very cool setting for just, you know, sound design or cool noisescapes. Yeah, I like that. Alright. Sorry, I blocked the whole pedal when I reset it with my big ape hands. Okay. Let's hear a chorus. Very nice, clean chorus. Then you can even get a vibrato feel out of it. In the chorus mode by itself, when you turn up the regen, it definitely makes things fatter, a little wetter. Alright, let's dump the trem into the chorus. I like this setting a lot. Just makes it sound kind of sad with that trem kind of sitting under the chorus. Very cool. I know you wanted me to crank everything, because that's what I would want. So let's see what happens with that. Dump chorus into chorus, and by the way, I love this setting on this pedal. So as you can see, every time I start turning a knob, when that secondary one's engaged, it just changes the character of the pedal entirely. I mean, the sounds just start interacting and they get very weird. Let's go with phaser now. I actually love phaser, and the phaser on this sounds really good. I like to play it like this, where it's kind of a slower undulation under the guitar. It also does the Jimmy Page kind of fast warbly phaser. Alright, let's throw some trem in there. What are we doing? So tremolo into phaser. Doesn't sound like a phaser or a trem anymore. It sounds like something completely different. So I'm assuming I'm hearing the phaser making that clunk, 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 clunk sound, and the trem's just kind of pissing it off and making it do that. Yeah, it's pretty extreme there. Alright, and finally, let's dump some chorus into the phaser. Hope I haven't moved the pedal all around the camera frame while I'm doing this, but I probably have. And of course, to end it, we have to crank every knob. Oops, as I bump the camera. And just make it go nuts. So that is the Visitor pedal. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about this pedal when I got it. You know, I wanted a multi-modulation pedal, and that seemed to fit the bill. I'm not normally a large fan of chorus. I like guitar tones that are a little, you know, that sound very kind of analog and dark and, you know, down to earth. I don't like things that sound overproduced, as you can clearly tell by the videos I'm making. And chorus is the opposite of that to me. Chorus sounds kind of light and airy and fun and happy, and that's not me. But this one I like, and especially dumping the two choruses into each other, I find that very musical on this pedal and very inspiring. So that to me is a win. This is going to be on my pedal board for a while, so I really like it. And the fact it has a tremolo and a phaser also built in, both effects I absolutely love. I feel like it's a winner for me. It's going to just, you know, give me all those options and not take up as much space on my pedal board. And the pedal board's starting to get a little cramped, so, you know, that's a good thing altogether. So next week, I'm going to be doing another quarantine loop video, but it's just going to be music. So I'm going to be focusing on the Visitor, but I'm not going to be talking and, you know, discussing the pedal. I'm just going to play music, and it'll be just a nice music piece. So if you want to just listen to music, it'll be a good one to check out. And I want to thank you one more time for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe this video, and I'll see you next week. Peace.